All right, Browns fans, before we start this video, let me know in the comments if you could only watch one of your teams for the rest of your life, who would it be? Would it be the Browns? Would it be the Cavaliers? Would it be the Buckeyes even? I give you a little college actually, even too. Don't love that up here in Michigan fan. So if you choose the Buckeyes, that's fine. But let me know in the comments. Um, Okay, if you're new to the channel, we are Detroit Lions fans, but we have this channel that we talk about teams that don't get the love nationally like they should. Cleveland Browns, Houston Texans, teams that kind of just generally get ignored by the national media, even though they had great seasons, great futures. So in this video, I found an article that I thought was really interesting. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but the NFL could be and still kind of got their eye around the Cleveland Browns. And then we'll get to some more things here in just a second. I just want to touch on this really quick. Just it's a small thing, but it could be a big thing. Is that DeShawn Watson could be ordered to have some ordered to testify again, and some speculate he may receive additional punishment depending on what comes of that. So per USA Today, a Texas court has asked for another in-person testimony, having last testified June 9th, kind of put everything behind him to a degree. Of the 26 women, there's 2 that are still out there. 23 were settled, and 1 has withdrawn completely from the whole thing. So what does this mean? It means that he was suspended 11 games by the NFL for the 2022 season. Okay, fine. But Mike Florio, which, come on, that guy's kind of a squirrel is what the best way to say it. He said they once again could come after Watson. Here's why. Although he's been suspended 11 games by the NFL for the allegations, the league has not completely ruled out the possibility of further punishment given the evidence that could emerge. This feels like it's not going to happen, but it's also the risk you took when you went after Watson, the contract, and just all of this stuff that is kind of circulating around him. So I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I think he's good, but again, this is all part of the risk and all part of the why it's like, dude, Watson, you got to play better because you're not worth it up to this point. You're injured, you're not in, you're in, you can't play because you can, you know, that whole thing. And then we've got you guaranteed money. Don't like that. And this is still lingering out there. So it's like, you know what? As bad as it sounds, if you were just playing at a high, super high level, then it's like, whatever, you know, this is part of why we got him. But it's like, you're not even playing really. So the new allegation, but the settlement, and here's the only thing. It seems the only way that could be further punished, whether it's suspension or fine, would be failure to comply with the NFL mandate. So they said, hey, it's 11 games and you have to do all these other things, right? Behavioral assessments. There's different things that we've ordered him to do, counseling. If you just do that, you're fine. And I agree with that. So I think he's good, but let me know in the comments, Browns fans, where you're at with it in general. As far as the Browns go, just in this offseason with like real stuff, like, right, they have to restructure contracts. They have to get creative. They have to release guys. They have to move on from guys. They're over the cap, but they can get under it relatively easy when you start looking at contract restructuring. And this is not uncommon in the NFL to be over the cap. You don't want to be there, but you're going to push contracts out. You're going to do void years at the end of contracts. So those are the restructuring stuff. You're going to release some guys that you're like, well, I guess that's part of what happens, right? So that's fine as well. The Browns will be okay because they have a good coach, a good culture, a quarterback that's good enough, a new offensive coordinator. I say good enough. You know what I mean? Let me explain what I mean. He's good enough to win games. And that's just kind of where he's at right now, because if you take it back from the suspensions to the injuries, I don't really know where he's at, but he's good enough. And you're happy to have him. And there's plenty of teams that would take him. So fine. Quarterback's there. Defense is really good. Jim Schwartz. You'll get under the cap. Hopefully you draft well with the picks that you have. You've proven that you're tough enough, or, you know, whatever that word is in the AFC North, that, yeah, AFC North's tough. Steelers aren't what they once were. The Ravens are always going to be good. Cincy's going to be good, but Browns, you deserve a seat right up there at the top of the AFC. I mean, and so can you run it back again in the tough AFC? I don't know. A lot of things got to go right, but look, you withstood a million injuries. So it's like, well, injuries aren't going to take you down because key players too. So the Browns are a good team. I know that they'll be able to respond based on what I saw last year. And so when you look at, and I'll pull it up. I thought I had it here, but let me pull it up. The Browns mock draft. There's players out there. That's what is so cool about this. And here's what you have. Here's the 7-round mock draft that I love this one. Again, a Michigan dude that's just a stud. Man, he's a stud. And if you can get him, are you kidding me? So here it is. Round 2, pick 55, Junior Colson. So Colson has been a mainstay dude that played right when he was a freshman at Michigan. He was one of 10 stars on the Michigan defense. So you just don't really hear about him much. Like he just kind of blends in with everybody else. But he's just a classic dude. I mean, he will go to the Ravens. Like that's just where he's going to go. I mean, I could just bank on it. I could bet money that he'll go there. 6'2", 230. Hello. Next one, a Western Kentucky guy. Love this. So the worst kept secret right now is the need for massive upgrades at wide receiver. 100%. So wide receiver is a position where it's like it would be just nice if the Browns had some juice. Well, there you go. Pick 3. You can around 3. You've got that. Next up, go down here. Offensive lineman Blake Fisher. So look at that, just in 3 picks, and I get you're in round 5 all of a sudden. So it's like yikes. But you've got a linebacker, wide receiver, offensive lineman, all really good. And I get it, right? You'd love to have 7 first-round picks. You don't. So that's where it's at. Round 6, a defensive tackle. Cool. And then a defensive end out of Washington in round 6. Pick 7, a running back. And that's the situation I think the Browns are in is like, what's running back look like? I mean, I think they want to get a running back so they have flexibility and options at the running back position. If they have to release guys, some of their more blue chip guys, but are higher priced guys. So look for the Browns to get under the cap, maximize the draft picks they do have. It's just the way it is, but you will just remember you will take a good quarterback over having picks every day of the week. So that 3rd round or whatever, you're missing a 1st round and a 4th round, whatever, it doesn't matter. It just does not matter because you have a quarterback. You can build around that. You could, it's like the Texans. They have the quarterback. So anything they add to that is just going to work. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I think DeShawn Watson's fine. And then I also think that the Browns will be just fine as this offseason gets going. And we'll see all of you on the next one.